It's not that bad, Dan. Trust me.
Hello. Brought me to tears. Life has finally brought me to tears.
Go on, are you going to announce everything? Oh, what's happened here? Who's playing Christmas songs?
That could be my telly. Sorry, because Levi's still up.
So tonight, hello everybody in the chat. Please say hello. Let us know you're there, and we'll give you a shout out. Tonight, Dan and I are very tired, but we have the honour and the pleasure of Gary Bradfield as our guest this evening from EAPI. Hello, Gary.
Good evening, and hello everybody in the chat room. If there's anybody in there, he says, can't see.
We have some people in the chat, but they're not saying anything.
They're
so
not
shy. No, Lois says get the Christmas songs off. Boo. Sharing out. Hey Gary, she says. So EAPI, which stands for East Anglia Paranormal Investigations. That's correct, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yes, and you've been going for quite a long time now, haven't you?
Quite a while, yeah. We've been going. The actual concept of EAPI started way back in 2010. So there you go. So it works out to 12 years. A long while.
That's a long while. What's Dad doing? Are you talking, Dan? It looks like he's talking, but we can't hear him.
I know, he's possessed.
Dan, can you hear us? Oh, he might be looking at something.
Yeah, I was just trying to see how long I could stay quiet before you noticed. Good evening, everybody.
I thought you lost the plot then.
Sorry, I've just been a dickhead tonight. Well, like normal, really, I guess. Oh, how are you doing, Gary? How's life, mate? How's life treating you?
Yeah, it's treating me well. Say, got Levi, so he keeps me on my toes, and Sharon. So.
I bet because you got the grandchild now, aren't you, with
yes.
you, so you're burning the candle at both ends, mate.
True, are we?
Lois is modding tonight. They're saying, when are we going on a double date? Me and Dan and you and Gary. Shh, don't tell Lois. Don't tell Sharon.
Oh,
shush.
Was that Lois Schmoish?
It's Lois. She's modding.
Lois Schmoish.
She's modding tonight, so she's looking at
yeah, well, she's modding the wrong way. She's letting secrets out the bag.
do you reckon we should sack her?
Yeah.
Hang on though, haven't they got to be able to do something before you can sack them?
Poor Lois, leave her alone. A poor woman. You're on one today, aren't you, Dan?
I am. It's like a demons invaded me. Who are missus?
Well, I think they're the Welsh demons. We went to Wales.
Like Gary said earlier, it's like I've gone possessed. The Welsh demons,
Welsh sheep.
Welsh sheep, yeah.
We investigated for Halloween in Wales on Halloween. Long story, Gary. Did you manage to get out and investigate and do anything at Halloween? I know it's your birthday. I know it's your birthday at Halloween, so happy birthday.
Oh, yes, happy birthday, Gary. Sorry it's late.
That's fine. Me and Sharon was actually lucky enough to go all the way up to Wolverhampton, so to Tettenham Hall College.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, interesting location.
Good.
There was a little bit of activity, not over the top, but there was enough to keep you interested, put it that way.
Yeah.
True loose.
Hi, guys. Have no fear.
Hi, Robert. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Since last night, I think, last time we spoke to you.
He's calling himself Rab. Is that Rabsy Nesbitt or just Rab short? Is Rab short for Rob?
Rab is short for Robert. Yeah, it's got a lot Scottish, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. Yeah. So you went out for Halloween.
Yeah.
Did you? First and foremost, did you get caught in the showers or in the rain, or you weren't outside at all?
No, we was actually inside the college, so We never got caught in any rain, apart from if we was outside for a fag. And luckily enough, when we was having a break for a ciggy, there was no rain about.
Well, that's nice. Well timed.
Yeah.
Well, it was about the only place I've actually investigated that I wish I hadn't have had so many clothes on, because it was so hot in the college. It was unbelievable. They forgot to turn the heating off. They actually forgot to turn the heating off. So in one room we had a thermometer going, the temperature gauge going. It was up to 26.9.
Wow.
And we're like,
bloody hell.
Going, is anybody there?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be getting there, Bill, would you, at the end of the month or quarter?
Naomi's in the house. Naomi's in the house. Woohoo.
Naomi.
Daylight come and we wanna go home. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. There's a lot of love.
Was there many people? Was there many people at the event, Gary, or was it just a small amount of?
It was a
small number,
smallish amount. It wasn't over the top.
That's nice.
Basically, the people that we went with was I remember the name now. RIP UK.
Oh, I've not heard of them. Is they a new one? Or they've been going for a while, or?
No, they're relatively new. The person that actually started up, I'm not sure if it was all of them, but the person I know for a fact, the two that started it up used to work for that company that we are not allowed to name.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh.
And, things sort of, they decided that they wanted to go out on their own, put it that way. I'm not
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Good luck to them.
That's down to RIP UK and the company that we shan't name.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for me to dish the dirt. So,
No.
So they went out. I suppose there was me, Sharon, Sarah, Carl, 6, 7. There was 7 of us that went up there, and I think there was another 10 in the other group. So it was a small amount.
Oh, that's all right. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's quite nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think you can get a better investigation if it's smaller groups as well, can't you, Gary?
Yeah. You don't get talking over, do you? You're trying to concentrate on some of it, and you've not got someone in the background suddenly going.
Yeah. There's a lot less cross noise pollution as well, isn't there? Really, which is good.
Yeah.
It was funny though, because I don't know if you've had this, Gary, where we were in Wales and we were doing experiments. If we're doing it in our normal voice, we'd get no responses. Got Dan to put on his Welsh accent. The responses came in so thick and fast, it was ridiculous, because they didn't want to speak to an English boy. They wanted to speak to a Welsh boy.
A Welsh lad.
It was funny. It was like interesting. It was
literally like the flick of the switch, wasn't it? It was nothing, and then when the Welsh accent came forward, all of a sudden they were like, we'll chat with you.
Yeah.
So it was where we was. It was interesting. We had some responses, but as if they were being nosy half the time and then disappearing. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're about, isn't it? A lot of the time, it's like they want to pop in and see what you're up to, and then get back out again.
We got a question in the
chat.
I
just saw that. So she wants to know, Gary, what is the best place you've investigated?
Cool, blimey.
That's a big one, isn't it? So many over the years.
I've investigated quite a lot of places.
Pick your top 3 favourites.
My top 3?
Yeah.
No, right. I'm going to go number 3. Cool, blimey. Number 3. Pottswood. Give it. The plain and simple reason is, there is activity there. This is going to sound rather crude, I suppose, but I had to have a Jimmy.
Fair enough.
To do. So we were sort of like in a break, and we're in the middle of a forest, and I walk down the track to the forest. I'm looking over my shoulder, making sure the group can't see where I am, like, because, yeah.
As you do.
As you do. And I turned the corner, I thought, oh, yeah, it's great here. I can hear. So I sort of pulled myself into the edge and I started. And all of a sudden, this is late at night, very late at night, I heard hoofs of horses.
Oh, brilliant.
And as I'm like thinking to myself, I can't stop, I see two horses with red coats on.
Oh, British soldiers.
Past. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Past. It was like, oh, that's real people.
You panic. Go into panic mode.
So that would be my number 3. Oh, where would I go from there?
It's a hard one, isn't it?
It is. I'm going to have to go a joint on 2. That would be Derby Gall and Galleries of Justice.
I love you too, John.
That would have to be a joint because I can't break them up.
Yeah.
But, and this is going back to Pottswood. When I was at Pottswood, I had the feeling of a miller. Mm-hmm. And I was taking in old oats flour, proper old oak, the medieval oak.
Yeah.
And 6 months, it was literally 6 months to the day we did Pottswood. We got invited to do Leffickham Mill, which is my number 1 choice. And it turned out that the last person to be hung, which was, I think, John Snowd or Snedden or whatever, at Pottswood, actually killed the miller and the miller's son the mill.
That's interesting.
Guys,
and we got called there to do an investigation. Viv's been there, I think, if I remember rightly.
I'll be back in a minute, guys. I just got to disappear for a minute. I'll be back.
Yeah,
a bit, Viv.
So, that would be my number 1. I actually walked the gardens when we was there for the first time, and I actually found the skeleton of where he was buried, the miller. And I said,
did you?
Yes, so it's there's actually a report in the local rags that Leffickham Mill put a plaque up in memory of the miller, but I actually asked them to put the plaque up so he could rest in peace, because all he wanted to do really was be remembered, and he wasn't remembered.
Yeah.
So
that's the best. That's the best we can all hope for, I guess, isn't it? At the end of the day.
So that is my top 3.
Top 3.
Really, which is really a top 4, because I've got Derby Gall and Nottingham.
Like you say, though, it's so hard, isn't it, to sort of split them up sometimes. Yeah. It's a real hard question when people say your top 3, because there's so many contenders, isn't there?
Yeah, I think every place or every location I do has got to be up in the top. It's got to be there, 'cause they're all different for different reasons. They're my favourites for different reasons.
Yeah,
I can go. It's a bit like go to Skegness, do the village farm. I always get activity there.
Do you know what? I must admit, that's one place that never fails to produce something.
Yeah. I mean, that should be there, but it's. I mean, I've got private investigations that I've done, obviously, that I can't divulge on air. That they could make my top 3.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Sometimes, I mean, a lot of them tend to blend into each other over the years, don't they? Because you get so many under the belt over the years. Like, they run into hundreds, don't they?
Yeah. I mean,
and it's like, well, one.
Yeah, without divulging the location, and it was a private, without divulging the location. I mean, we was on call 24/7. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be going over there. No matter what time. And I actually got a call, and I think it was about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I shot over there, and all the fire engines were there. And
were they really?
Yeah. And I said, like, what's going on to the woman? She went, well, I thought I'd call you. So I said, okay, no problem. She said, and I think you better talk to the fire chief. I thought, well, what have I got to talk to the fire chief? You know what it's like, you know what I mean? What have I got to your property? Why should I talk to the fire chief? So, okay, so I spoke to him and I said, what's the matter? He said, well, we can't work it out. All the fire alarms have gone off in here. The fire alarm at the station has gone off in here, at the station for this place, but the fire alarms aren't connected.
What? Not at all.
No, all the fire alarms in the building have been disconnected, and they've been disconnected from the fire station. So that could make my top 3.
Yeah.
But,
So was there ever a fire in the building before? Do you know?
not that I know of. I never came whilst investigating it. That never came up. It was just that if they wanted me and Sharon to go over, some way the spirits over there would call us in. And
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Basically, at this moment in time, it was the fire alarms that weren't even connected in the building. They'd all been disconnected, and they weren't even connected to the fire station.
It's odd, isn't it? It's odd the way that they can work. It's just like, you hear things like telephones that go off that aren't connected.
Yeah. It's manipulation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And sometimes people can even get the dialing tone on it, but the thing's not connected.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. It's phenomenal, really, what they can do. But yeah, it's hard work trying to narrow it down to 3, isn't it? And you only do that because you're put on the spot. When you go back and think about it, it's like, well, I don't even know if they are my top 3, really. No. But like you say, Village Farm is way up there in my favourite. I love that place because
this is what I'm saying. Every investigation I do, or every location I do, it's got to be one of my best because it's a new experience. Yeah. So I can't really, even though I've narrowed it down to 4. It's someone asked me tomorrow or a week down the road, it'll be completely different.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even the activity you get, is it? Sometimes it's the feeling of the property.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go into a property that's just overwhelming. It just feels so warm and welcoming that you're straight away put at comfort there. You're at ease, And so it isn't necessarily about what activity you get. It's about what the place makes you feel.
Yeah. And the other one is how much fun you have at a location, even though you're not there for fun.
Yeah.
Don't take Dan with you then. That's all I'm saying.
Only have fun. It'd be boring.
I'm a kiss of death. I am, if you pardon the pun, to any investigation when it comes to having fun.
Well, no, because when bad shit happens, he's going, come closer, and I'm like, no, stay there. He's got no sympathy for you.
No.
We all have fun though. Otherwise, none of us would do it, would we? Really?
Oh, no,
yeah, exactly.
We all enjoy it, and it's not just the investigating. Obviously, is the main thing, but it's working with people that you get close to as well, isn't it? And you know the relationships all built up.
It's a bit like the charity. We've been doing it since
2010,
and people have come on our investigations, and they've, to coin a phrase, they were punters, but then they become close friends, and then they become the EAPI family.
It's family. Yeah, it's true. It's true. You can forge friendships that just go on forever, can't you?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good thing about it. It's good. There's lots of good stuff about investigating. So have you got any more this year, Gary? Or are you folding for the year and then bring it back?
That's it. We're done this year. I'm taking a break. We don't really do a lot in the winter. It's mine and Sharon's time to chill out, relax, and I can't really get out and about as much in the winter, obviously, because of obviously COPD.
Yeah.
And the same with Sharon. She can't. I mean, if we get an indoor location, we might do it, but we normally finish around about this time. Well, it's November, so it's normally around about October, November, and that's it. We'll start again in the new year.
Yeah.
A well-earned break. We need it this year.
You feel more like it as well when spring comes, don't you? It's like rejuvenator, isn't it? For not just for nature, but for our part of nature, but for everything.
Dan said to me, he says, "Are you normally busy Boxing Day?" I went, "Why?" He goes, "You fancy going out on a ghost hunt?" Boxing Day. Maybe.
You can play Christmas songs.
I remember one year, me and Terry, we were talking with Christmas Eve. It was. And we were bored out of our brains, and we spoke. It was like we both more or less were going to phone each other. I can't remember who got through in the end, but it was like, I'm bored. So am I. Should we go ghost hunting? Yeah, all right, let's go ghost hunting. We just took off Christmas Eve. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it outside. It's bloody freezing. It was starting to snow actually.
But then don't you find that if it's colder outside, and same with you, Gary, if you are outside at any given time and it is colder and stuff's happening and the adrenaline kicks in, you don't feel the cold anymore.
No. You've hit a good point there. You hit a good point there, because I'll tell you what, when it gets really cold, activity seems to step up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like a battery-induced infusion.
I think I once said, I think on when was it Tetton Hall, that if the temperature goes too high, then it's like they're going to go to sleep.
Yeah. It's like anybody, isn't it? Alive or dead. When it gets too hot, you don't want to be buggering about.
Right.
Here's one for you, Gary, from Robert. Can one ghost interact with another entity, or are they independent?
My opinion, they can interact with each other. The same as what we can interact with each other.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Dan, didn't we get two entities on IT6? This would make you laugh, Gary. We were somewhere, I can't even remember where, but there were two entities arguing. It's like a husband and wife having a right argument.
Oh, they were French, weren't they?
They were French.
He was talking to me and she got the hump, didn't she?
They were arguing with each other, and we had this thing going on. Dan's going, "Are you getting this video? You're recording it?" I'm like, "No, I'm just listening to what's going on. It's funny."
I've got a picture at one of the churches around here with an older female ghost and a younger ghost holding hands. So,
yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't work, to be honest, because you're both in the same predicament, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, if they're from different time periods, though, different time frames, I think that they also, depending on the type of haunting that they are, if they're interactive, they are going to be aware of each other. And again, will they jostle for front position over the other? I don't know. But I know I do feel that they do react.
In that instance, I think it would be more family orientated. So, i.e., let's go, like the daughter's died at a younger age, and then the dad died. Then the dad's trying to find the daughter, so he's having to come through the different. But I still think they eventually, because of the family connection, they would still get together.
Yeah, I've often wondered about that when they say, "Well, as the spirit comes in, they're looking for the child or whatever," but they keep missing each other. And I've often thought to myself, why would that work like that? And then the idea, well, it was just a theory. It did cross my mind. Is it because one of them is actually sort of bound and can't move either way, but the one that can come in and out can't make that connection with them? You know?
I'm just reading what Christine's just said.
Do you know what, Christine? It's funny because the French ones, I said to Viv, that poor bastard's been gone 1,000 years and she's still giving him earache.
It was definitely an old haunting, but I've also been in a situation where there was a very old and ancient haunting going on, interactive, you name it. It was brilliant, but there was a newer spirit from more modern times, and they were completely aware of each other, hated each other because the older one thought that the newer one was a demon, you know, and then no, seriously, you're gonna think I'm gone bloody Ghost Adventures or something. But then when he came through where we were dealing with the older one, he was calling us the demon. It was just so funny. Scary, really scary. Never want to go through anything like that again. But yeah, it was. I do believe that they can interact, even if they're not related, and they're fully interactive and immersive. But yeah, that was something else. I won't even talk about it.
No, definitely. Yeah. I did hear one of a medium was saying once about a ghost. There was two ghosts in different time periods in this building. And one of the ghosts said, "Yeah, I've talked to them." Like they said, "Like, can you see them?" And said, yeah, I can see them. I've talked to them. But you see that Victorian one? Yeah, nobody likes him. Nobody talks to him. And it's like, It's like you think just like living.
No, I'm not becoming Mrs. Baggins. I think I'm going to become. Who's the demon seers? Anyways, another one here. No, I won't be able to. I won't be Mrs. Baggins. No, definitely not. Anyway,
it's a bit like going back to if they could see.
Gary, Chantel is in the house. Are you ready?
Chantel!
Whoop, 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 whoop. Chantel's
in the house.
She's over there. Oh, dear.
It's a bit like that village, isn't it, in Derbyshire, where it was completely wiped out.
Hey.
Now, you can't tell me that complete village that was wiped out in whenever it was, the spirits that are lingering about, they all died at roughly about the same time. They're not going to interact with each other.
No.
You know what? In Eam, is it Eam you're about, the plague village?
Yeah.
That's where Hazel and me had our honeymoon, in that village.
Oh my God! How's it taking your wife there?
Well, her uncle and her aunt have got a cottage. It's beautiful, Viv. It's absolutely stunning. But the thing is, you walk around it, and there's headstones up against the houses. A lot of them, because people, they were dying so quickly, they didn't have time to bury them, so they just took them outside and put them the nearest bit of ground that they could. So there's a lot of very.
Well, when we went up there a few years back, I literally crossed where the sign for the village is. You know, as you go through on the road, went through there. I mean, the car couldn't have gone 15 yards. I just said, I've got to turn around, I've got to get out. I'm just being bombarded.
Really?
Yeah. My head just went bang.
It's a beautiful village. Beautiful.
Lois has asked a question. Our lovely Lo in the chat room. She says, what is the strangest encounter you've ever had?
Talking to you, Lo.
Yeah. No. Strangest encounter. Oh. Blimey. Well, that would be going back to Pottswood, wouldn't it, really? That was quite funny. You know, that would be quite strange when I'm having two redcoats on a horse go riding past. That was quite strange, and I wasn't expecting that. But we've had some weird and wonderful ones over the years. You know, sort of.
But of all the time that you saw two spirits on horseback, you were having a pee.
Yeah. Can
you imagine comical, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you imagine it, having a pee and trying to find a camera and then realising shit, it could be somebody, could be a real person. All that's going through my head at the time.
Yeah. But can you imagine looking at them and not looking what you're doing and peeing over your feet? Get it all down your trousers.
Could you imagine?
Up yours, Winter.
Yes, Willow's obsessed with it. I love it. It's brilliant. Love that, Christine.
I'm going to ask you a question, Gary.
Go on then.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you it. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Have you ever been touched inappropriately by unseen hands, like spirit hands? Not another person's hands, but and if you have, where and when?
By a real living person, chance would be a fine thing. Because I'm a bit old for that nowadays. Well,
hi Kelly.
There is the towel, obviously, of
his face. Look his face.
It's going to be filthy, isn't it?
It's going to be right.
No.
Right, parental
X-rated.
warning before we go on. Yeah, this is X-rated. Yeah.
This is entertainment at the rawest end, isn't it? Well, the ancient ramming. We all know the incubus succubus saga with Jack Baggins, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a group of us all over there, and someone suggested that I lay down by the fire. So that's what I did. And I'm laying there, and Gert's sort of shouting at me, "You're getting touched, you're getting touched, I can see you, you're getting touched because you're getting flustered."
Meaning
Make
you're
a
getting
joke out of it. And I'm going, "No, I'm
you're
not.
getting a woody.
Yeah. You're getting a woody, you're getting touched, you're getting touched." I went, "No, I'm not." He went, "Yes, you are." And it was going on for about 10 minutes. Anyway, in the end, eventually the experiment finished and I walked out. And I called him to one side and I went, "By the way, he was right. I was actually being touched, and it went from my ankle right the way up into my groin,
Inside leg.
inside leg."
Nice. Nice.
I don't know if it was the infamous incubus or it might have been the succubus. I don't know, but there you go.
I
Might have
wouldn't
been
have
both
cared.
of them. Yeah.
Could have been both of them, yeah.
Oh dear, that was funny. Because
Oh, next got a question here.
Oh yes, let's put it up.
Are you ever worried about taking anything home with you?
No.
There you go, Annette. No.
In a nutshell, my house is totally protected. I got white crystal in the window for protection. I burn Californian white sage quite often, once a month, twice a month. My equipment now is kept out in my new shed, so that's all out. And if we're out on investigations, 9 times out of 10, if I get the feeling that there isn't something too nice about, I will smudge it and cleanse it. So, but apart from that, no, it doesn't bother me. I've had the feelings of someone around, and all I've done is cleanse myself. So, you know.
If a spirit does it, is it still sexual harassment?
Well, I'll tell you, Chantel, I'm not going to press charges.
No, I never.
Are you, Gary?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I believe that.
I do too.
I believe that.
So, what was your, apart from going for a wee, what was your most embarrassing time out on an investigation? Have you something had to really funny, embarrassing, not horrible, embarrassing?
The funniest, I think the funniest is at the village farm, Mansfield. The village. Why did I say village farm? The village Mansfield, and that was the YMCA. That's got to be the funniest. And if you ain't seen the video, then I said Viv might put it up. I think Viv still has it. Quite funny. I don't think I've got an embarrassing.
So for people that don't know, we did the village people at the village farm, and we sang YMCA.
It was quite funny.
I
Someone actually don't know if we was dared to do it, or we mentioned we'd do it, and then we was dared, but we did it, and we had everybody laughing. Liven the evening up.
Yeah, I went as a builder, drew on a moustache and everything, and thick eyebrows, and hard hat, and high vis vet. Yeah, I did all that.
Actually, Sharon wasn't best too pleased that night.
We nicked her eyeliner, didn't we?
Nicked her eyeliner, yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that would pay her off.
15 quid for that eyeliner.
Yeah, it's not cheap, is it?
Drawing on tashes. I'll go to Gary. Here, I'll do yours if you do mine.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. No, I don't think I've had a real embarrassing.
Rob says, Chantel, take them to court. Spirits, that is. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've had a real embarrassing moment. I can say.
Oh dear. That is funny. So, your experiments, because you do, because I've been on a few of your investigations, and I know that you do lots and lots of different experience all the time.
Yeah.
What is your favourite one that you like doing? You, like Gary, personally, not for anyone else, but for you. What is your favourite one that you like to do?
The best one that I really did enjoy was the haunted painting.
Yeah. Can you explain to everyone what that was and how it worked and what happened?
I basically, I don't know, when was it? Back in 2017, I think it was. Parafest in Essex. Was that the one? Was Paraforce? Yeah.
Paraforce, yeah.
Paraforce in Essex. I actually see John Blackburn with the haunted painting. And I was intrigued. Let's put it this way. So I get home and me being me, I'm thinking, well, okay, the painting could be haunted. I'm not disputing that. But is it actually being put into people's heads that the painting is haunted? So I actually got my dad to paint a painting for me. I got a frame, I put it in the frame, and I took a picture of it and I put it on the API group page on Facebook. And basically I made this story up about this painting. I just got a phone call from a woman and she's asked me to look after this painting and the pictures on there. She believes it is haunted, so I'm going to be doing some experiments with it, blah 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 blah. She got it from a car boot sale, and when she bought it, her husband was in a well good job, and all of a sudden her husband was made redundant after buying the. You can imagine it, can't you? The story's getting, she had a dog that never went out, and all of a sudden the dog's got out and got run over, and and she's blaming this painting. Well, I said, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking it out on investigations, and that's what I did. I took it out on investigations. I had A4 paper writ up, haunted painting experiment, and left it on the table. Please, to the general public that were coming, can you just, touch it, feel it, tell me what you're feeling. You haven't got to touch it. So this went on for over a year. I kept this going, and the tale of this haunted painting was getting bigger and bigger. And the last one I did was I went, told the normal tale, and I said that the time before, which was really weird. Sharon really doesn't like me having it in the house, but I had it in the house and it was hung up in the bedroom. I said, but we forgot to take it with us. And when we got home on the investigation, the painting was off the wall and it was laying on the bed. This is the next investigation, and people are going, they haven't even touched the painting, and they're like, anyway. So once that was done and I got everything, and I'm going to say here, and I did actually mention it once the experiment was done and dusted. 99.9% of the people actually said that the painting was haunted. 0.00001%, which is somebody sitting on top of my head or to my left who's just waved, said we was actually at Coronation Hall. She went, Gary, can I have a word? In Vid's like sternish voice.
Come over here. Oi, over here.
And it was like, I got to swear because we are half-life doable. No, we're not.
Yeah.
I sort of went, oh, I'm in trouble. What have I done?
Oh, F, yeah.
Off I walk, went outside, and I'm thinking, oh God, this is bad. Like, this is really, really bad. Like, no, I've really done something. I just went, that painting. So I went, yeah. She went, that's no more haunted than I've got a hole in my, where. So I went, you're right. And she actually told me exactly who painted it, when they painted it, and went into other details that I'm not going to delve into
No,
because that was my family
private.
business.
That's private, yeah.
So that was basically one of my favourites.
Because you said to me, "Shh, for God's sake, Viv, don't tell anyone. This is an experiment."
Yeah. I said, it's still going on, which it was. So she went, I would say that. I said, good. So yeah, that's the Tower of the Haunted painting. It was basically done to see if I could basically manipulate people's minds, which basically I did.
Yeah.
Now, is that saying that everything that you buy on eBay or wherever is haunted? I don't know. Is it all manipulation?
I tend to agree with you, Gary, there.
Mm.
So
it's easy to manipulate, isn't it?
Yeah. That's got to be my favourite. I mean,
they half believe it when they come in, don't they?
Yeah. I've done the Gansfield experiments. I believe to it because there I was at a location and I got the blindfold on and Viv's got a tool like this. She said, you got to try it. So I went, yeah. And I think we was in the Leffington Lodge at the time. And I called everybody. There was about four or five people in the room and I'm in the chair and I called everybody a silly bunch of
really swearing.
Mucking around, running around the room. And Viv said, there's nobody running around the room. So yeah, so from there I asked very nicely. She said yes, you could do it. So I done that. I enjoyed that. I've done another one which was health. Now we all know that doing the paranormal, your heart rates and all this could go up, could affect your health. I've done that and taken when we've gone to the location. I've taken people's blood pressure. I've taken their oxygen level in their blood with the thingies, and it's surprising. I had one bloke say, "Oh, nothing frightens me," and then we've done something. I said, "Right, we're going to take your heart rate," and his heart rate's gone right up.
Yeah.
And he's only been there an hour, and his heart rate's gone right up. So yeah, I've done a load of things.
You've done some cracking experiments there, and like you said with the painting one, that went over a period of time. It wasn't like and I just thought that blew my socks off. That was amazing what you did there. So
I mean, that was the painting was done over a course of a year, so it wasn't right. It wasn't a 5-minute wonder. I'm going to do it for a month, 2 months, and that's the results. It was done over a complete year, and at that time, we was doing 2-3 events a month. So and everywhere I went, that was being taken out with me.
There's a question here, Dan. Do you want to read it out?
Yes. So, what country would you investigate, and what place in that country?
I'd have to go for the island off of Venice.
Poveglia Island. Poveglia Island, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to go there. So it's on my bucket list. I want to do. America's nice, but no, I wanted to. That would be on top of my bucket list. There or Transylvania.
Oh, Robert says Gary's soldiers on horses are like Roman soldiers in York. Could be memories from the past on replay.
Could be place memories, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was. You'll remember that part of the forest. There was the gibbet was on it, so it was a thoroughfare. So
yeah,
that John Sned. I think he was the last person to be hung in the gibbet, and they left him there to rot. Poor brother. I didn't even, then when his bones started to crumble,
hope you're behaving.
They buried him basically right next door to the gibbet itself. They didn't bury him anywhere else. So he was on public display for quite a long while.
Yeah, they liked doing that, didn't they? Yeah, so I hope Briar's behaving himself, Mr. Dorber.
That'll be first.
Yeah, I don't trust that bloke. He'll be on Friday, so we'll see what he's been up to.
He will.
Yeah. So, is there something that one of the venues that you've done in the past that's no longer available to the paranormal community per se, let's say, is there one that sticks in your mind that if you could wave a magic wand that you would open it up to paranormal again? Is there one that you would love to go back and do, but you know that you can't?
At this moment in time, well, if we left at a mill again,
Yeah.
For the plain and simple fact is, I mean, we actually stopped going in. We actually stopped going in there because she had. I think her rooms are like £300 a night on a guaranteed stay of 3 nights. So you can imagine how posh they are.
Yeah.
We had the mill at the time, and that was great. Yeah. But then she decided that she was going to renovate the mill, so the mill then became a place
like a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and Sharon said we're not taking anybody in. That's not. She didn't want anybody to go in. You know, we could have gone in there anyway, but we weren't going to take public in there because, you know, it was done up because obviously Leffington Mills, I think grade 2 listed. So it would actually have been done by grade 2 listed builders anyway, but it was done by the very highest spec. And I didn't really want to take public in there. And
no, yeah, of course.
Not that I'm going to say that my general public are pretty good, but it only takes one mishap, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And
so there's stuff going on in the chat. Brian never behaves. Laugh out loud. That's like saying Dan behaves.
And we all know that I don't.
I was going to say Dan don't behave.
Exactly.
Ooh. Lois loves Brian.
There's a loving going on there.
Oh, there's lots of love in the chat going
Bloody
on.
hippies.
And it's not the 14th of February.
Exactly.
What's going on? So what's I know I don't want to give away too much, but is there something you're looking forward to next year that you can talk about, or something that you would like to do next year? That is there something you're looking very much to doing next year, or what does the future hold?
Well, on the 6th of August of this year, the future I was retiring. You know, I gave the big speech, didn't I? It was the 6th of August, Saturday night.
We knew he wouldn't retire because it's not Gary. It's not the thing Gary would do.
I'm holding back the blubber and the tears, like, you know, giving my heartfelt to the community that's there. But I did retire all of a week, thanks to the general public. I was inundated with messages, so was Sharon. And then Naomi got hold of us, and I think we squeezed in the village. I think we've done it a couple of times. We squeezed in the village at Skeggy. We went over there, and she went, "Can you bring Parafest back?"
Yeah.
So I've got Parafest coming back next year.
Good.
Which is a good one. We've got 4 VIP tickets left, so that's even better.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to sell some day passes as well. So anybody wants a ticket, get hold of Sharon.
Oh, they can go on the EAPI Facebook page, can't they? Yeah. And they can message Sharon through that as well.
Message Sharon.
Yeah.
My better half that looks after me.
Yes.
If it weren't for her, I would. Well, I don't know where I'd be. My manager.
You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here, Gary, because she quite literally saved your life, didn't she? Yeah.
Did she saved my life, and 2, if it wasn't for Sharon, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So because I'm the main face. 9 times out. Oh no, I won't say no. I always get the recognition. And it's wrong, because if it wasn't for Sharon, I'd be turning up to some of these events naked. You know,
Bryce he says you can't quit because it's in your blood.
That is
and
right.
Sharon's.
And Sharon. But yeah, so I mean, Sharon sort of like goes to. Well, if we'd got an ordinary event a week, 2 weeks before, and she's going, "Do you need a new shirt? Have you got this? Have you got that?" And when we did the big one this year with Brian Kano, it was like a month before. Have you got a new shirt? Yes, Sharon. Have you got this? Yes, Sharon. Have you got this? Yeah. Do you need a new waistcoat? No, I'm fine. Right. Okay. So she takes a hell of a lot of pressure off of me. I can turn up and be who I am when I get to these events. Sharon takes all the pressure. So yeah, she doesn't get the recognition. So bottom of my heart, thank you, darling. You do a fantastic job.
Thank you, Sharon. She's like Sharon Osbourne. Sharon.
Yeah, she's in there. She's in there now, keeping Litland quiet, so I can be on here. So
bless her.
You know
See,
what I mean?
Still working behind the scenes.
Still working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we've got Parafest coming back, and
good
4 VIP tickets left, which entitles you to the speakers during the day, and obviously the farm's going to be open, so you can wander around that. And then you've got the investigation of an evening. That's the VIP tickets. They're £50 a head. Speakers are David Young, Neil Packer, Jacqueline Dixon, Richard Case, and Hazel Ford. Day passes we've got loads of. So, and they're £25 day passes. They'll entitle you to the speakers during the day, and obviously walk around the farm. And I have been informed that the bikes will be there again this year. So you get to see, not only do you get to see some good respected speakers, you can get to see the bikes.
Yeah.
And it's all about getting together and bit of chin wagging between each other, Got the normal Wiz Beach Castle and all that, but I'm looking into
all your events will come up on your EAPI page.
All the events will come up as they always do, and in poster form, and all they've got to do is literally just contact Sharon. If we got the space, obviously, you'll get a ticket.
So,
I am looking into, I think it's three new locations, three or four new locations. Ooh, blimey, try and say that. 3 or 4 new locations to get it right. Yeah, I'm looking at 3 or 4 new locations for next year.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
So there's lots coming in.
Yeah.
Good.
Even though I said that's it, I'm retiring, I'm still
doing it.
Still doing it. And that's without going out and
I wonder. Here's a thought.
Other people's events.
Here's a thought. When we pass away as ghost hunters, will we come back as ghosts to ghost hunt, to look for more ghosts?
Could do.
Or we might go looking for the living.
Yeah.
Or somebody just say, I don't believe in the living.
Yeah, I don't believe in
fairy
it.
tale.
Hang on, let me get this 2K meter. Not the K2 meter, 2K meters.
Or as we call them then, fleshies.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not real, they're fleshies.
They're just fleshies, they're not real.
So I've got a message, because we're going to be wrapping up soon. But Lois is saying she needs to go. Her laptop is getting kidnapped. Love you all. Join me and the team on Friday, where we'll be talking about the history behind the paranormal. A random one that just came into my head. We will be minus Ian, gutted, but he'll be out for his wife's birthday. So we'll be singing happy birthday to Mrs. Barrow.
Wow.
On Saturday, we have William Becker will be on at 10 o'clock, and I think he'll be chatting to Rick Hale.
The lovely Rick Hale, very nice man.
So that will be a good show again for next Saturday. Next Tuesday, we have no Mysterious Worlds, But we will be streaming directly to Simply Spooky from the Things Network. So you will have a show to watch in place of Mysterious Worlds. And next week, I can't remember who's coming on next week, Dan.
Neither can I.
We'll surprise them.
But keep your ears open because there's going to be a couple of exciting guests coming up very soon, hopefully.
Yes.
I've been liaising and I've been annoying people and poking at them, and they've now more or less agreed to give in because they know I won't go away until they say yes.
Poke you.
Yeah,
Poke.
It's like a bad smell. Don't poke him too hard because he might fart.
I might like a balloon with a hole in it.
So we are going to end
Gary.
the show tonight. So thank you, Gary. Really,
Pleasure as always. Thank you, mate.
Thank you ever so much. And am I on again? Yes, you are Friday, Brian.
You are, Brian. You ain't getting away that easy.
No, he's part. He thought he was. Yeah.
Gary, send our love to Sharon.
Will do.
Yes.
At least there's one thing. At least he didn't forget, like I did.
We don't mind. You're getting on a bit, Gary. We expect these things. Do you know what I mean?
Don't worry about it. I'll forget, and I'm meant to be a co-host.
I know. He's even worse. But we will catch up with you guys soon. So be good, everyone.
Thanks, Robert.
Can't be careful.